You can now change the size of a design and alter the stitch count of the design at the same time. So this means that you can retain the quality of the design when you scale a design larger or smaller. You need to be in embroidery edit mode to do this. Now, before I change the size of this design, I'd first like to show you the stitch count of that design in its original state. So let's press the sewing button, because at the top here it gives us a stitch count, doesn't it? So it's 7,282 stitches. Make it bigger. Look at that. Now that's a huge increase in size. Let's see how many stitches we've got now. Close, sewing. Wow, 20,160 stitches. Let's take a look at that design and just see if we can see that it still looks pretty good. Okay, this next feature is something that I really like. Have you ever wanted to reduce the number of stitches in a design that is too heavy for the fabric it's going onto or the size of the design that it's at? In other words, you stitch it out, pulls the fabric in really heavily, feels like a board when it's finished. You just know that there's too many stitches in that design. Well, no, you can't, and you can do it on the machine. I can go less or more density. I'm reducing the density here from 100% down to 85%. And we've now got 7,088 stitches in that design, so it's removed some of the stitch density within that design. That's a fantastic feature that will be very useful on quite a number of designs that we come across these days. The one thing that sets the NV1 apart from all of the machines on the market at this point in time is the camera function. And I'm going to show you two examples of just how much this has moved on with the upgrade kit. First of all, let's take a look at positioning. What we've done here in all of these quilt blocks, if you like, is get the design in exactly the position that we want it to be, and all the designs are the same size. And what we've got now is a facility to be able to scan the fabric into the machine and then overlay our design on top of that fabric and position it precisely so that it ends up in exactly the right size and position that we want that design to be. Here I have some fabric in the 8x8 frame or 200 by 200 millimeter frame. I'm going to pop that into the machine, and we're going to resize a design that's too big for that area and position it exactly where we want it to be. We'll choose a design which is suitable for this type of situation. There's a nice little floral design. And when I go into this section, a new button has just appeared here up at the top, which is showing a camera. I press that button and then press OK. It says it's going to move the frame around, so we press OK. And the machine will now scan all the fabric in that frame into the machine, and we can then bring that fabric up as a background on the machine itself. Okay, there we go. And just look what we have here now. That's the fabric that we have scanned in, and we can easily see that the design that we've got is too big to go in that position that we would like to pop it into. And then we're going to reduce the size of that design to fit into the area we'd like to put it. Let's take a little look at that now in close-up. Now to me that looks like it will make a lovely quilt block. So we've used the camera there to scan the design in and overlay our design so that it fits perfectly into the area that we wish it to go. Isn't that fantastic? In this example, I'm going to show you how you can create supersized designs using the camera feature of the MV1. Take a look at this. This design is too big for the largest frame on the machine. But if you look closely, you'll see that it is actually a mirror image on one side as it is of the other. Okay, so basically what we can do is stitch one half of the design in the large frame and then scan in that after reframing so that we can then align the other half perfectly using the camera feature. Let's choose our embroidery design. Go into Embroidery Edit, into the section where we'll find a design that's usable, and I'm going to go to page 7 and choose this design here. And I'll align the mirror image of that design up on this side after I've done a reframe. So let's stitch that design out then. Let's press close. I'm not going to move it, just leave it where it is. Go into the sewing, stitch the design. Okay, it's at this point now that we need to reframe the fabric. The hooping is exactly where it needs to be with this design showing on the right hand side. This is the really exciting bit now. What we're going to do here is scan in the fabric that's in the frame here. So we'll press the scan button and press OK. Just make sure that any fabric that you've got around here doesn't get in the way of the frame as it's doing the scanning. And here we have the design that was scanned in onto the screen. What we're going to do now is flip this design. This design is a little bit lower down than that design there. So what I'm going to do is just edge it up so that I can see that it's more or less on a line there. Let's take a quick peek at that. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Let's stitch. This rather nice new lettering font has been added, and we go into the fonts. This is the one here, which is rather nice scripting, handwriting style for your machine. If you want to get really creative, there's now a new creative bobbin case where you can use thick and heavy threads to give you a sort of a hand-sewn appearance to your embroideries and sewing. The creative bobbin case has an adjustable tension screw on the front for using different thicknesses of threads and ribbons, and also comes with a new stitch plate cover which helps to keep the bobbins and ribbons in place. And the B denotes that they are bobbin work designs. They're extra large stitching designs, longer stitches to create the design. We're going to stitch this one, so we'll select it and press sewing. It's the same procedure for using your machine on the sewing side. It's pretty amazing what you can get through this creative bobbin case. For this particular ribbon here, we've hand wound it onto the bobbin, and instead of going through the tensioning system, we've laid it over the back and allowed it to just pull through naturally without any tension on the thread.